Ask any sneakerhead you know, what is the biggest problem in the community? You know what they're going to say? The reselling. Reselling in itself isn't a bad practice, but in the current age, it has been exacerbated to be one of the most problematic things in the sneaker community. Honestly, it has made the sneaker game completely unfair, and many people point to one solution to solve the problem. Just release more sneakers. Well, that's not the case, buddy. It's not that simple. Yes, sneaker reselling has made the prices sky high and has reduced the number of available sneakers, but this problem does not have an easy solution. The issue is much more complicated than it appears. Now, I get it. The idea of releasing more sneakers is a good practice in theory. The idea of releasing more sneakers is the most commonly proposed solution to the problem of sneaker reselling. It would work in a dream world like this. All right, guys. So a lot of people say you could pre-order sneakers. The companies would make just enough sneakers to match the demand of the people that are requesting them. By releasing more sneakers, there'd be enough pairs for everybody. Everybody would get what they want. The resellers couldn't scalp them all because everybody had a fair and equal chance to get them. You know, like back in the good old days before the digital era where you can go into a store, buy a sneaker, and walk away with a smile on your face. That doesn't exist nowadays because hype dictates everything. And by releasing more pairs, you would reduce the hype for a lot of sneakers. And in turn, by reducing the demand, you would also bring down the price, making it more affordable for everyone. You see, what fans the flame of the reseller is the ability to make things limited and extremely high in price. By releasing more sneakers, everybody would have a fair and equal opportunity to get what they want, and the prices wouldn't be as high as they currently are right now. Also, by making more sneakers available, it would actually eliminate practices such as scalping and backdooring, which rely on the limited availability of sneakers. But unfortunately, we do not live in a dream world. This is this thing called reality. We must face our problems head on, and unfortunately, releasing more sneakers isn't an easy fix. This solution is actually a pipe dream. It may appear to be the best idea, but is actually not. It is actually harmful for every single party involved. This solution is rather impractical because it would actually have the opposite of its intended effect. While this may appear to be initially good for the consumer, in the long run, it is actually the most harmful practice to people that simply wish to collect sneakers, and here is why. See, at first, people are going to start realizing that they can get sneakers at quick and easy demand. They don't have to fight as hard as they do nowadays, so they can go in, get a sneaker for $200 like a Jordan 4 and walk away a happy person, right? But eventually, over time, these pairs are going to start to sit on shelves. They're going to go on clearance, and the price of the sneaker is going to go down slowly and slowly over time. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where these sneakers are going to sit on shelves and collect dust. Who's going to be most upset by this? The companies. Now, this would starve the resellers, but it also starve the consumer and starve the companies because without sneakers being sold, the companies have less incentive to release the sneakers to the general public. Overall, this would cause sneakers to not release as often. Companies are going to see that, hey, the last batch of sneakers we released did not sell out, so we're not going to keep flooding the market with more and more sneakers. Like, for example, with the Jordan 4 release that's happening in January, they may release 2 million pairs just to satisfy the market. When not all 2 million of those pairs sell out, they're not going to release a new sneaker in February, March, etc. until all those pairs sell out in January. Does that make sense to y'all? So yes, you may get more of the sneakers, but you may not get the sneakers that you actually want. We cannot make the sneaker game like an a la carte type of menu, bro, where you can just pick and choose what you want. The companies cannot make sneakers at your demand, in theory, because guess what? They have to make money too. They have to fuel their pockets. If they're going to do this and make sneakers at your will and customize them to what you want in the moment, you'll never have a satiated appetite, believe it or not, because now the companies are dictated by you and your wallet. Well, it's always been that case, but in this particular situation, the hype wouldn't exist and the companies wouldn't be able to create this type of brand identity. Believe it or not, companies like Nike, Adidas, and etc., they need hype in order to survive. They need you to be hungry. They need you to starve. They need you to want more and more and more. If they gave you everything you wanted, you wouldn't have a reason to go out there and buy sneakers because you already know that the next release is guaranteed. When things are guaranteed in life, you have no reason to take a risk, i.e. spend your money. Unfortunately, sneakers is one of those markets that relies on limited exclusivity and releases. Only thing we can do is reduce the amount of reselling practices that limit the amount of sneakers that are on the market, bro. In other words, Nike can't make everyone happy. What I've discovered at the end of the day, sneaker reselling is a necessary evil, but if you really want to combat it, there is one practical solution. Now, I must say, sneaker reselling in its most innocent form is actually great for the community because it forces people to bond with one another. It forces people to make in-person connections. It forces people to interact. When you eliminate all those unethical practices like scalping and backdooring, you actually have a healthy, thriving sneaker economy. This is also good for the companies because it promotes them to keep producing and making more sneakers. We see right now in this current digital era, companies have more of a reason to pump out sneakers on a daily basis because they know that people are always wanting more. There's a community out there that spreads information about new sneaker releases, and now it's just a great time to be a producer because you can really get pairs out like crazy. But if you truly want to stop the resellers from being on top of the game, you got to stop buying sneakers. It's that plain and simple. Sneakerheads, for some reason, we constantly want more and more and more. We constantly want newness all the time. Guys, if you just stop buying sneakers in general, the companies will have to respond one way or another. They may release less sneakers. They may reduce the retail price of sneakers. If you just say, hey, for a year, I'm not going to buy sneakers. I'm just going to enjoy what I have. I'm not going to keep trying to get the next thing over and over and over again. You will actually start to realize that the resellers aren't going to be able to do these practices that they do anymore. It's starting to happen right now. A lot of people have gone to other sneaker brands. People have started buying reps. People have started buying used sneakers. But we're not going to keep buying sneakers after they release just because the reseller told us that's the best thing for us to do. It's the best time to buy a sneaker. We've realized like, hey, we can make a sneaker sit just like how they buy them all up. We can make them sit as well. We have a degree of control in this market, and I don't think we've really maximized how much control we have because we're so focused on buying something new over and over and over again. Stop looking at what's ahead and focus on what's right in front of you right now. Go support brands like New Balance, Saucony, Asics. Stop buying every single Jordan 4 that releases. Try something different out. Because Nike is starting to realize there's a thin line between oversaturation and just satisfying the market. You can see it with the Jordan 4 Bread and the military blues. They're trying to figure out what is exactly enough to the point where Nike is satisfied, you're satisfied, and the resellers, they exist, they don't exist. But at the end of the day, when Nike can sell all their pairs and you keep coming back to Nike for more and more, they have the ideal relationship. There's some type of balance in the force. Now, will this solution happen? Probably not, because at the end of the day, we have true sneakerheads like you and I, the people who watch my videos and support me. I appreciate you. But you guys are the most connected and ingrained in the sneaker community. We have to understand nowadays what it means to be a sneakerhead has expanded outside of like that super niche knowledge. Lil Sally from the corner store, she's a sneakerhead too. Are you going to tell me if she goes into Foot Locker and sees a pair of sneakers sitting on clearance, she's not going to buy them? Of course she is, guys. Like, most people aren't going to protest the way you may protest. You have to realize that. So unfortunately, you can't really control much. You can only do what you can do, and that's just spending your money on things that you truly, truly want. Do you need this sneaker? That's a question you have to start asking yourself before you buy these things. Like, hey, how is this going to enhance my quality of living? If you're just buying it just because the hype is there, it's going to collect dust eventually, don't buy it, guys. It's a waste of money. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!